Living with diabetes is hard. And if you're watching this video, you probably already know that. Of course, there's lots of different reasons that being with diabetes can be so difficult. And going around the country, we as DiabetesSangha facilitators have heard all sorts of reasons that people struggle. And you probably have your own particular ones and your own reasons that are really similar to what other people would share. For us, I think what it often comes down to is really three things. One, diabetes is really uncomfortable. And it's uncomfortable for physical reasons. It's also uncomfortable for emotional reasons. Of course, there's the symptoms, and then there's also the different ways that we might feel like our life is limited by diabetes, or different situations that we really don't like or feel embarrassed by or upset by, disappointments. So first, diabetes is uncomfortable. Second, of course, we all know diabetes is constantly changing. So often in normal life, we have this sense of, well, sure, I'm looking out at this scenery and it's not immediately changing, or yeah, everything in my life will change over time, but it's not changing right now. So you have a sense of stability, whether that's well-founded or not. With diabetes, we know our blood sugars are constantly changing, and our blood sugars are affecting what kinds of feelings we're having in our body, and what kinds of feelings we're having in our body are impacting our behavior. And so we have this constant stream of change, which can feel very destabilizing. And then the third thing, which is that diabetes is related to everything else that we're doing, and everything else that we're doing is related to diabetes. So it's almost like diabetes is in all things in our life and vice versa. That can be really, really challenging if we just want a break, or if we want some part of our life to not have a direct impact on life with diabetes. The thing that a lot of people don't know about mindfulness practice is that it's actually founded on working with some of those same core difficulties that we face with life with diabetes. So of course, these practices weren't founded as a way of working with diabetes, because these are things that all people on some level struggle with. But we with diabetes know these struggles quite personally. The struggle of discomfort, the struggle of constant change, the struggle of the ways that things interact with each other all the time, and we can't stop them from doing that. So mindfulness practice is particularly oriented towards developing a different relationship with the way that things are constantly changing, and develop a different relationship with the signals that we get from our body, which tell us this is comfortable or uncomfortable. They can become really useful information, and change can become a kind of friend, and we can learn to flow and ride along with it. And then similarly, this piece of diabetes is in all different things in our life. Of course, that can still be a struggle, but we also learn the sweetness and the blessing of the way that all things are interacting with each other. And though diabetes can be quite an uncomfortable teacher in that way, it can also be something that helps us come to this realization that we're not so separate from everything else, and that we have a wonderful relationship with everything in our life, whether it's friends or the food that we're eating, or somebody that we just had a passing interaction with yesterday. All of these things are impacting us all the time, and it brings us closer to our common humanity. So in these ways, mindfulness practice and the kind of original principal ideas of what you're meant to work with in mindfulness are actually deeply interrelated with living with life with diabetes.